for a primary school in terms of collecting funds that are illegal.
At the end of the day, her advice to all school heads was simple: do away with anything that can hinder the progress of the education system and work together for the achievement of education for all by 2015. For Grts News, I am Fatou Jassi.
For the third year in a row, the country's legislators were out in the North Bank settlement of Jurunku for a weeding exercise. The drive, informed by the Gambian leaders' call for the citizenry to partake in agriculture, saw deputies descend on a sprawling rice field that measured more than 30 hectares. Modu Bajan saw the National Assembly members in action.
Or the enactment of laws but for an exercise that got them far away from the engaging activities of Parliament. Helping in a massive weeding exercise at this farm cultivated by the Kanilai family farms in Jurunku, lawmakers abundantly demonstrated their involvement in the national quest seeking to put hunger at bay. Led by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Abdullah Bojang, the two-day activity was done for obvious reasons. Speaker Bojang once again underlined the importance of the green offensive initiated by the Gambian leader himself as the surest way to self-reliance.
It is only working hard to feed ourselves that we stand independent truly. The President has been talking about agriculture for the past 18, 19 years. And agriculture is in the sense of going back to the land, tilling it to produce what we eat, and we eat what we grow.
The chief of Opanyumi believes that rice cultivation is a rewarding enterprise, and given the country's vast and fertile lands, people should not waste time in venturing into such a vital activity. Chief Chati Cham further re-echoed President Jammeh's call for people to go back to the farm.
Our able leader, His Excellency Dr. Alhaja Jammeh, is calling all Gambians to go back to the land. I think going back to the land definitely is not for him. It's for the entire Gambian population.
The Gambian leader's agricultural development ambitions, emphasized by its slogan, "Eat what you grow and grow what you eat," has sorely enticed many Gambians to the farm. Here, even parliamentarians are seen embracing a massive crusade to attain food security.
Since the president took over this country, what he has been emphasizing on was for the people to go back to the land. If we had been doing it since then to date, by now we would have been feeding ourselves sufficiently as far as rice is concerned and other things are concerned. So therefore, it is of great significance that we are here today, because the produce that we are getting here is an incentive for some other people.
Initiatives like this could solely remedy the country's overdependence on imported rice, which in recent times has become more of a luxury than a basic need whose price is persistently increasing.
Rice comes from the furthest part of the world to the Gambia, and cultivating it here is a much simpler thing because of the mechanized system being brought to us by the President and the government.
Some participants we spoke to expressed total agreement with the need for collective engagement in farming activities to raise the national food basket.
Before you are independent and before you are yourself, it is when you can feed yourself without relying or counting on any external support or help. And we are lucky in the Gambia, we have the land, the land is very much fertile, and we have the youth folk as well. So what was left is the motivation and the encouragement that, the president came with in his actual philosophy.
Representatives of several communities, including the villages of Sami, Nyofere, Albreda and Chila Jurunku, underlined the huge benefits of farming, especially rice cultivation. Others appealed to the authorities to help improve the road network linking Kuntaya, Ndugukebe, Jurunku and surrounding villages in order to boost agricultural productivity. Women are great rice planters in the Gambia. They weren't left out in this weeding exercise. Women representatives Kadinjai and Jija Drame both added their voice on the importance of homegrown rice. The country's staple food, many believe, deserves greater consideration. It's the most consumed foodstuff in the Gambia, and in the move to bolster its production levels, even lawmakers are not being left behind. Modu Bajan, Grts.
And back to our top story, the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Dr. Esitunjai Saidi, this afternoon presided over the swearing-in ceremony of the newly appointed Ministers of Health and Social Welfare, as well as Lands and Regional Government. As we hear in this report, Omar C. and Momodu F.K. Koli swore to uphold their oaths of office and execute their duties in accordance with the development aspirations of the Gambian leader.
Having been appointed as Minister of Health and Social Welfare of the Republic of the Gambia, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of the Gambia according to law. So help me God.
I, Momodu F.K. Koli, having been appointed as Minister of Lands and Regional Government of the Republic of the Gambia, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of the Gambia according to law.
They both serve over 2 decades in the respective ministries they have been recently appointed to, rising through the ranks and finally reaching this level. It was diligence, dedication and hard work that made them qualified candidates for the job, as desired by President Jammeh, who leads by example. They pledged their allegiance and promised to work sincerely in the interest of the Gambian people.
I wish to say that I accept my appointment with a deep sense of humility and gratitude. And I accept too the responsibility that goes with it. And I seek your continued support and guidance on the assignment given to me. I have no doubt in my mind my cabinet colleagues will give me the necessary support to work as a team to achieve the vision and mission of this country.
I am deeply moved and surprised by this appointment. It is indeed an appointment that have never come to my expectation in life. But I cannot have any words to thank His Excellency for the confidence and hope he has in me, or he built in me.
Their colleagues, after keenly listening to the acceptance speech of the newly appointed ministers, welcomed them into the fold, describing cabinet as one big family headed by President Jammeh, whom they all describe as a supportive and development-oriented head.
The important thing about teamwork is every member of the team owning the process. And people will only own the process if they are involved in everything that happens in the ministry. I want to enjoin you to move in that direction, and whenever you get stuck, turn to any one of us, turn to Her Excellency the Vice President, turn to the Secretary General or His Excellency the President. You will be given the support that is needed to help you move forward. You've sworn to 3 oaths, and I want to remind you that those oaths are binding, even after you leave cabinet.
As a collective, we will extend our support to you. We will also extend our solidarity to you in our collective responsibility and social duty in addressing the needs and aspirations of the Gambian people, headed by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya Abdul Aziz James Junkung Jammeh.
I will just change the subject as a family, not a team. Because in a team, there are sometimes you being a reserve player and some playing in the field. In the family, we believe it's all of us. And here is a family. We are more than a team now.
For the Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service and Minister for Presidential Affairs, the most important task for the newest members of Cabinet is the need for them to follow the footsteps of President Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh.
But I think it's a very special privilege to be appointed Cabinet Minister under the dynamic and inspiring leadership of His Excellency the President, Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya Jammeh. I say this because I've spent, I think, just about two months in cabinet, and I know how much I have grown in that period by learning from him and from the family that Honorable Axie has just spoken about. I can tell you one thing. since from day one, I've enjoyed the cooperation of all the members of cabinet, and including the president and the vice president. Anytime you knock on their doors, they are open for consultation, for advice, and everything. And I'm sure they will accord you